Matt, this is a long-awaited episode. This is a topic that you could go lifetimes on under because it's so important. Completely underestimated, underrated, overlooked.
Understood.
Yeah, no, you understand me? And it's something that you're with every day. Let's talk about the gut. Dude, like, where do you even start, right?
Well, I think that you start with understanding that all disease begins with the gut. All of it. So Hippocrates said that, and then I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a Russian botanist, and he kept saying, all death begins in the colon. So everything starts there. And if you think about the body is a tubing system from mouth to anus, right? So if you're taking in all this stuff that the body can't break down and process properly and all these toxins that we talk about, basically you end up with this level of congestion in the intestines and within the gut. And that's the beginning of backing up within the whole body.
Whoa. Okay, so what are some of those habits that produce that ingestion? That backing up. Like, what are some of the main practices that people do that are improper that back it up?
Well, for one, people are eating food. They're eating fake processed foods, food-like products. They're eating things that are made in the laboratory. So the biggest thing is getting back to eating real, organic, natural foods the way that God intended. So eating things that the earth provides, whether that's animal products or fruits, vegetables, things that the body can actually process and utilize for cellular energy, right? And so we're eating all this nonsense that it's just waste. So say you eat a cookie, right? And you eat that cookie, which has no nutritional value. You can fill your gut up with cookies, right? But your cells are left starving. There's no nutrients for cellular energy. So basically, we're eating nothing but toxins and nothing and accumulating all this excess waste, but our cells are left starving.
So before we talk about the food that's good for you and why it's good and the biological impact it has, let's kind of take me through a journey. Okay, I eat some bullshit. I eat a cookie. You name any brand, that it's like they're all dangerous, and it's like Paige said, food is medicine, but this isn't food.
Yeah.
What is a cookie?
Yeah.
Like, what is a cookie? You know what I mean? Take me through how. Like, so you said the cells are left starving, but are they still breaking this toxic thing down? And like, how long does it take to break it down? What does that filtration process look like in the gut? Because I think people think mouth, gut, poop, done.
Yeah.
And that is not the case because your gallbladder is absorbing the so just dive into kind of how the body breaks down toxic chemicals and how long it takes.
So we'll just talk about the digestive process, and that'll kind of part it.
Yeah.
So when you eat your food, you start the digestive process by chewing, right? The saliva breaks things down. It actually lets your body know that you're going to need specific enzymes to break down the types of foods that you're consuming. So then it travels down into the esophagus where it's emulsified in the stomach with that hydrochloric acid production. And then you basically end up with this emulsified mess that goes into the duodenum. And the duodenum is where the stomach, the pancreas, and the small intestine meet. And then the pancreas releases specific enzymes necessary to break down specific nutrients. So whether that's carbs, proteins, fats, dairy, whatever, there's enzymes for that. So after it's broken down to a certain extent, the food's going to travel into the small intestine. And the small intestine is full of these little villi, right? And they literally absorb the nutrients through the villi into the bloodstream to disperse the nutrients to all the cells of the body, right? So then those cells eat from those nutrients. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's making sense. You just blow my fucking mind, dog. Keep going. Go off.
So then the cells are eating from those nutrients, and then every cell is an individual conscious entity just like we are, and they eat and create waste, and they breathe just like we do. So they eating from those nutrients, and then they create waste, which goes in the lymphatic system and is drained through the kidneys and the skin. Now, whatever food is not utilized and absorbed through that small intestine is going to start to pass through the colon. And I didn't mention, but the gallbladder is going to release bile. And the bile is used so that the body can absorb the fats and utilize the fats. Okay. And that's what the gallbladder's role in the digestive process is. In fact, it's the bile that's being released that creates your poop to be brown, right? So if it's not brown, then you have a bile deficiency, you got a liver gallbladder issue, essentially. So then whatever cannot be utilized, the waste product is going to go through the colon, and the colon's going to absorb all the excess moisture, and then you're going to eliminate your beautiful brown dookie, essentially. So that's just everything that the body could not utilize. And that's why you'll see people, when they eat constant amounts of junk food, they have huge bowel movements, because everything they're eating is waste product.
So basically, in that stage in the small intestines, when it's supposed to be absorbing nutrients, it doesn't? Or does some of that stuff get pulled out?
Like the toxins and stuff. So the villi is not going to, but what you're doing is you're polluting your digestive tract. So you're getting this buildup of foods that can't be properly broken down. And so you're left with undigested waste all throughout the small intestine, all throughout the colon, impacted bowels. And so you're just stacking up trash.
Full transparency, I ate a vegan cookie last week. I feel like I want to cry. Because I did not know all of that, dog. And that's why it's important, bro. Because, like, you don't know what you don't know. And whenever you break it down like that, it's like, you know, there's a lot of people aren't in the forefront of thinking, oh, how is this affecting my small intestine?
Totally. So most people don't even know what the small intestine does.
Yeah, and exactly. And so, like, and that I'm so excited to take that 3 to 5 minute segment on the digestive process and just like put that out there so people know. Maybe add some graphics or something, because that's like and it makes you really want to treat your body better whenever you can break it down in that practical way. And I think that's one of your gifts, bro. And I honestly have the question of, okay, what are some steps? Let's say, okay, the cookie in the V, what's the
villi?
The what?
The villi.
The villi. I was like, dude, it sounds like a fucking village in your stomach, and you're poisoning it. You're poisoning your village, your stomach village, bro. Fuck. You know.
So honestly, bro, like that small intestine, all those villi, it's the bacteria, right? Mm-hmm. And it is your immune system. Like your immune system is centered within that small intestine. So as you're destroying the small intestine by filling it with garbage all the time and you get this pollution, well, you're destroying your own immune system, essentially.
Don't do it. Don't do it, man.
And I just want to pack on, like, the gut. We oftentimes in Western medicine, we'll talk about how the gut is the second brain. Like, we hear that now, like the brain-gut connection. But I really believe it's actually the opposite. So the gut is actually the primary brain. It is the center of intuition. It is the center of knowing. It is like God speaks to our intuition in the gut. And so when we destroy our gut, we destroy our mental health, right? The gut creates more neurotransmitters than your brain does. So dopamine, serotonin, the things that make us feel good, those are produced in the gut, not produced in the brain. So if you got mental health issues, you've got a gut issue. And in reality, since all disease begins in the gut, if you got any disease, you got a gut issue.
And that's really, like, for people listening, someone might seem counterintuitive. Oh, well, it's a mental health issue. Why would I start with my gut first? You know, and to somebody saying, okay, you know, I'm tired of the hamburger helper life. I want a healthy gut. Like, what are some practical steps that you give people to like, because you got in my like perspective, there's like, you got like a starter pack, and then you got like the home run, like, oh, the big stepper pack of like, oh, you really want to flush, mm-hmm. Like pull up. And I want to talk about that too, because that's the stuff that I'm trying to be on, especially as I work for you more. It's like, why not? You know, my work just ordered hideaway pizza. I'm gonna edit that out. just ordered hideaway pizza today, and I'm like, you know what I mean? So, like, what are some practical steps people can take to transform their gut now, today?
Yeah, so undeniably, when people actually change their diet 100%, most of these major issues resolve with people within 30 days. So Basically, number one, just stop eating all the fake processed bullshit that the body cannot utilize. Cut out gluten. And really, it's not the gluten. It's just all grains and wheat products manufactured in the United States are soaked in glyphosate. They're genetically modified, and that is the problem. Maybe it's gluten, but I really think it's gluten.
It's the pollutant of the gluten.
That's awesome.
So that's the wrap. So yeah, removing the gluten, the dairy, the processed refined sugars, just anything that comes in a box, a can that is made in a laboratory, it's got to go. All the seed oils, like canola oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, all this shit is garbage. And it's destroying the gut. It's destroying the gut microbiome. So the first thing is just removing all of that is number one. And then, so what do I eat? Well, you eat real food, right? So you eat the highest quality animal proteins of animals that lived real animal lives, that were fed their species-specific diet, not a bunch of corn and soy and bullshit that they're not supposed to eat.
You got to know their names.
Yeah.
You have to know their names, but know the farm. Know the farm and the farmer.
Know the farm and know that they're living real chicken lives, eating real chicken food. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Roaming and eating off the land. So anyways, and then organic fruits and organic vegetables. If you're dealing with a lot of gut issues, I don't think that beans and legumes are unhealthy. I don't think that whole grains are unhealthy. But if you have a lot of gut issues, you want to cut out the grains, you want to cut out the beans and legumes, because there are a bunch of defense chemicals that are inflammatory and will cause like the gas, the bloating, and all that type of discomfort. So you heal the gut, and then you can start to implement those things again, and it won't bother you anymore once you heal it.
Okay, let's talk fasting. So we're, and it's so funny because the answers are right in front of you. Very simple stuff that comes from Earth, stuff that's been here in for
it's common sense. It's not so common anymore.
Yeah, and I think that because of the deep programming, there's a very specific reason that we're programmed with rainbow bread and hamburger helper, because it's we won't get into that for sake of saving some time, but while you don't want happy, healthy slaves. You're trying to financially milk people for the rest of their lives. Like, you're going to feed them rainbow bread, But the good news within that is that the changes are simple. Doesn't mean it's always easy. Like Paige was talking, emotional detox is real, but it's simple. And so one of the most simple diets, nothing. Air. Let's talk about fasting, dog.
So fasting was powerful, and it's such a great medicine because it's free. It costs you no money. It costs you no time. And in fact, it saves you time. So, for all those that got excuses, it's hard to come across.
People get mad with their bullshit all the time. What should I fast? What is fast? You're going to starve me? Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I ride for my bro. He gets too much flack for the fasting, dog.
All right, so every time we eat, the body utilizes about 70% of its energetic reserves to digest food. It's a lot of work to break down, especially if we're eating bullshit all the time. The body has to work really hard to break that stuff down. So when you cease to eat for a specific amount of time, the body can use 70% more energy to cleanse and heal itself. All right, so generally speaking, it's different per person, but generally speaking, you go 18 hours of not eating anything, your body's going to start the process of autophagy, where it recycles old damaged cells, gets rid of zombie cells. Autophagy essentially means to self-eat. So the body's scavenging for alternative fuel sources by eating things that are not supposed to be in the body in the first place. So autophagy is where the magic happens, and the longer you can stay in that autophagy, the more benefit that you're going to get. 24 hours is a gut reset. So at 24 hours, your appendix will start to reseed the gut with the essential probiotic bacteria that you need. So people out here taking probiotics, doing all this shit, and you could just fast replenish your own microbiome if you didn't let them cut out your appendix already.
Don't do it if you're thinking about doing it, or someone. Well, just focus on you.
To share this video.
Can't save every appendix, man, but just save this one if you still got it, man.
So 36 hours, private fat burning. 48 hours is a dopamine reset. So your brain actually creates new dopamine receptors, and your gut is going to be able to produce more dopamine. So the whole idea is that you're going to have better motivation. Things are going to taste better when you do eat. You know, if you think about it, like our ancestors, when they're in a fasted state, they need more drive, more clarity, more focus, because they got to go out and get that kill. So we're actually designed to fast. It actually makes us better and enhances us. 3 days is a complete immune system reset. So you recycle all of your old white damaged blood cells and you get all new white blood cells. So you basically just reset your immune system completely. You got a brand new immune system. All right. And this whole time, the body's starting to release stem cells, and stem cells are released to heal any part of the body that needs it. So if all disease begins in the gut, and the first thing we need to heal the body is the gut, I think it's safe to say that the first place the body's going to put stem cells is after the gut, right? Because that's the most important thing that needs to be healed. If you don't heal the gut, nothing else can be healed. So this whole time frame, you are healing the gut just by fasting alone. And I just want to touch on a lot of times when people are in a fasted state, they get that grumbling feeling and that dull, achy feeling. People think that feeling is hunger, but it's not. That's the feeling of your body starting to clean and heal itself, and you feel it in there. And as soon as you eat, you stop that process because you switch into digestion mode rather than cleaning and repairing mode. So it's a lot of it's like restructuring what you perceive as hunger.
Motherfucker's going off right now, dude. I'll tell you that. I will. Okay, so talk to me about, they say the brain is the second gut. Like, that's a common phrase that's being thrown around now. Like, how does the brain connect with the gut? How does it communicate to the gut? I'm curious. Like, how do your brain and gut communicate?
What's the neurotransmitters? It's all neurotransmitters.
What are the neurotransmitters like? Where do they just fly in? Like, is it like, I don't know what a neurotransmitter fucking does, or like where it travels. Is it like, I'm a neurotransmitter, I'm going from here to here?
So everything travels through the bloodstream, essentially, and it's an electrical, and the nervous system, right? Mm-hmm. So we're an electrical unit. So everything travels through electricity, right? How do you measure the health of a heart? By EKG, which measures the electrical output of the heart. Same thing with the brain. It's an electrical output. That's how they tell whether you're still alive or not. Beep, beep. It's electric. So everything is sent through electrical signaling. That's what the nervous system is. So that's how that all ties in. And so again, the gut is the hub of the nervous system.
You are electricity. Quit eating hamburger helper.
Yeah, for sure. And again, like if you look at the Chinese medicine, the colon or the large intestine is directly connected to the nervous system. So if you have a lot of constipation and issues with the colon, typically there's going to be like anxiety issues and insecurity issues, and
because you're already inflamed in that regard, and that connects to the you said something about like 7 major organs with the 7 chakras,
endocrine glands.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And so it makes sense that if something's going on in your small intestine, it's your sacral chakra, that is going to reflect your behavior. So it's safe to say that your gut health is directly correlated to the amount of space you're able to hold in the behavior that you exhibit. You know, like you're only able to feel true happiness if your gut is alive, and it's like maybe you're blocking yourself off from feeling basic human emotions like joy and empathy simply because your body's so filled up with toxicity, or it's in super fight or flight. It's like, I don't got time to be happy right now. I'm fighting off the cookie.
Totally. So with the sacral chakra, that's essentially your pancreas. So your pancreas is the endocrine gland that's over the digestive process, right? It's all about balancing the blood sugar. It creates the enzymes to break down specific nutrients. But yeah, so if you look at, like, there's certain emotions that are tied to every organ of the body. So for the colon, you're going to have feelings of insecurity and anxiety, perfectionism. For the small intestine, like having a lack of joy, having a lack of trust, right? So you can't take in the goodness of your food. You can't take in
like, I gotta be perfect, but I'm never gonna, and I'm sad about it. Like, it's like, that's just the first 2, right? That's like totally not setting yourself up for success. And it's all something so simple as food. What they say, mastering the 3 things: eat, sleep, and poop. If you master those 3 things, you master life. So simple, but not easy. And so we asked kind of the practical approach to start to make some of those transitions. I'm wondering, are there any supplements that you know are good for the gut, and kind of some misconceptions? I would like to know some misconceptions about the gut, as well as like things that we can start to implement to supplement, like so adding some supplementation.
I'll talk about supplements first, and then you can clarify what you mean for the second part.
Yeah.
Supplements. Let's talk subs. I'm about
All right. So to heal the gut, I'm a big fan of colostrum. So I would use liposomal colostrum. So that's where they take colostrum, which is mother's first milk for a baby calf, essentially. And it's just full of so many nutrients that it helps regenerate the cells of your digestive tract. And then when you make it in liposomal, that means they encase it in fat, so it makes it through the digestive process. So it actually has its full benefit. So colostrum is amazing for regenerating the cells out of the digestive tract. So that's huge. Slippery elm is an herb that helps heal the mucosal lining. So, we all have this mucosal strain that helps carry things throughout the body, and it helps heal that. It's great for GERD or acid reflux. It's amazing. It just kind of lubricates everything really well. And then, you have probiotics, which can be beneficial. You don't want to live on them, but it can help to reseed digestive enzymes for those that have some pancreas deficiencies and things along those lines. And then you can take different types of binders and stuff like that to actually clean the gut.
Let's talk about these binders, dude, because I finally broke the enema spell on myself. I was so afraid to do an enema, and now I'm like, enema gang, all right? Take that for a soundbite. Enema gang, all right? I will ride for that because of the benefits of it. Like, it's really life-changing, and like, I'd love to hear about like, what are binders? What do they do? What's the benefit and like, how much, like, what does it cost? Where do you get it from? I got so many questions. I don't know nothing about binders.
Yeah. So one, I'll kind of talk about a product that's kind of in between supplement and binder, so I can segue into binders.
Yeah, segue.
So you have humic and fulvic acid, and humic acid is essentially a byproduct of soil. So, and it's what allows there to be diversity of different strains of bacteria in the soil, and that's what makes healthy soil. Mm-hmm. So we're made for soil from dust to dust, right? So humic acid helps to repopulate our gut microbiome and help the biodiversity of the gut flora within our body. It also helps to heal the little intestinal tears, especially in the small intestine, that cause leaky gut, essentially. Helps to heal that, which is awesome.
Whoa.
And then the way I'm going to segue into binders, fulvic acid actually acts as a binder in itself. And it's cool because it'll absorb toxins like metals and stuff. It'll pull toxins out of the cell, but also that's full of minerals, so it actually feeds the cell as minerals. So it's cleaning and feeding the cell at the same time. So that combination has been really dope for me. I really like that. All right, so then moving into binders. Essentially, binders are negatively charged particles. So these negatively charged particles will go through the digestive tract and absorb anything with a positive charge, and that's going to be any type of toxins are going to have that positive charge. So they essentially act as a vacuum as they go through the digestive tract, absorbing the things that are not supposed to be in there so that you can flush them out of the body. And it's crazy, like, that we even need binders, but that's how fucking crazy our world is. Like, we're just being bombarded with 80,000 different chemicals at one time. Whereas in the past, we could just take some herbs and clean the mess up and we're all good. Now we actually require these, like, negatively charged particles.
Like constant upkeep to
crazy
the crazy-ass damage.
And there's people that have pulled themselves out of insane issues, mental issues, by the use of binders alone, because you're pulling all those metals and those chemicals out of the body. So some of the binders I like to use, so you have activated charcoal, you have zeolite. So activated charcoal will get a little bit of everything, fungal toxins, mold, bacterial toxins, but not so great with the metals. Then you have zeolite, which is going to pull metals. It's specifically designed for metals, so it's going to absorb all those metals. Taksumi is similar to charcoal, but instead of being made from coconuts, it's made from bamboo. And that one also helps with pulling all the same things out of the body. You have bentonite clay, which will help, again, with all the above, the metals, any type of bacteria, fungus, anything that's not supposed to be in there. So what I like to do and have people do is make binding cocktails where you put all the above in there and then you drink it. And you do that twice a day. So you're binding constantly and then you're flushing through enemas, which we'll talk about in a second. The last one I'm going to say is modified citrus pectin. That's another really great binder.
Dude, how the fuck did you learn this? Like, what books? Were you just reading a ton of books? Were you like, because like not only do you learn it, you retained it, you know the name of the thing. I mean, it's kind of your job, but like, how did you do it? Like, was it just, did you really just take a year reading books about like bentonite clay? How did you get to the bentonite clay rabbit hole, dog? Fuck, like, I was gonna ask why people should work with you, but like, I honestly think it's selling itself right now. I think your problem is gonna be people like, man, Matt's and I can't do all this, but they can, you know, and that's why you push them to that deeper space. But they probably get pissed. I bet people get pissed. Well, you drink your second binder? No. Oh, well, you don't want to reverse it, do you? Like, I do, but I don't. So, like, how the fuck did you learn all this shit? And I don't want to get to Enemas, but like, dog.
I mean, I was good because I was chronically sick for so long and I was desperate to get well. And I quickly realized the doctors did not have my best interest. They didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. They're just like, well, here's drugs, or we can cut out your gallbladder, or we can radiate your thyroid. I'm like, that's fucking retarded. Like, I'm a junkie at this time, and I know that's stupid.
Like, hey, I love their products. Look, no one's as big of a fan of Big Pharma's products as me, but this shit's fucked.
And so I just realized it was nonsense. So I literally just, like, 4 years obsessively researched and learned how to heal myself, different healing modalities, and you know, I've changed a lot with my perspective on how to cleanse and heal the body. So it's evolved over time, but I just constantly keep experimenting on myself. And now I've gotten to work with so many people that it's really challenged some of the perspectives I had that work for me. They don't work for everybody. So I just continue to add. The other thing I like to do is like, I look for people that are doing work similar to me and I buy their programs. And I learn what they're doing. And then I experiment on myself and see how it works. And I naturally just obtain any information that I actually care about. Like if I read it and it applies to me and I like it and I want to use that, I'm just going to naturally absorb it. I don't get to control what is absorbed, but it's like those things that I care about are just absorbed.
I love that, bro. Like it seems that you really found your calling and your passion for the technical side of things is admirable, because it's like your knowledge of the technical side of things seems to be fueled by your passion for health, because it's we get put in those do or die situations and we're with some doers right now.
So when you think about it, like I'm trying to sell something to people that don't actually know that what I'm selling them is the only solution. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they don't even know that nutrition and toxins play a role in health. Like,
they're like, the only solution. I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
They're just like, no. Hey, dude, your intestines are leaking. Yeah. They're ruptured.
Literally.
What are we? You know, it's like it's and I think that approach toward health, you have to remember that you matter. Your body matters.
Totally.
Well, and whenever you're working with someone, I mean, when we live in the United States, food and packaged things and, you know, all this stuff is at our fingertips, and everybody is chronically addicted to food. And so when you're explaining all this and you're telling people to stop eating and to do all these enemas and do all this flushing, what kind of transition would that be for them? Like, you know, someone who's addicted and loves food and doesn't want to stop eating, kind of explain kind of the process your body goes through and how it reverses those cravings and how it makes you feel, versus like someone looking in on the outside thinking, I can't do this. Like, I love my
nachos.
Nachos. I think the transition is different per person, because some people are just motivated and ready to get to it. And I say, cut out all this, and they do it. Love those people.
Hey, if you're that kind of person, hit that up. You'll get results fast.
That's my type of person. But in general, like there are processed foods that are the lesser of the evils, right? So transitioning them to the least toxic processed foods so they can still get their favorite things, but it's not actually straight poison. It's just processed. So utilizing that. And then to hit on the other aspect of the addiction, it's like you crave that which is in your body. So just like a drug addict is going to crave heroin, and heroin's in their body. They can't stop thinking about heroin. So someone who's addicted to eating sugar is going to crave the sugar because it's in their body. So that kind of leads into, as you clean out your body, you purge your body of all this bullshit, you stop craving those things, so it gets much easier. It's the same thing with drug addiction or alcoholism. Once you get through the initial state of releasing everything and going through they call it withdrawals, but it's detox, right? It's so funny. If your body's not like, oh, I need Xanax to survive.
Withdrawal is what you do at the bank.
It's like you're getting all the drugs out of your body, or like you're getting off of Xanax, your nervous system is waking back up, and that sucks because it's been asleep for a long time. So anyways, to answer your question now, so you want to assist your body in its natural process of removing those things in which you're craving. So if you start doing this process and then you immediately start implementing enemas and start clearing out that colon, you'll notice those cravings dissipate much more quickly. I've been shocked by how many people I've been able to get to go super hard and just change their diet immediately, get straight to enemas, but the cravings dissipate so much faster because we're getting straight to the elimination process. So you have a couple of weeks of eating the diet that I talked about earlier and then doing enemas, and you're going to have significant difference in how you feel with your digestive system. And as soon as you eat that shit you used to eat, you're going to notice, oh, that's what the fuck that's been doing to me for all these years.
Stop, dude. And my first experience with Mad Dog was, the food didn't look like food anymore. The shit that's not actually food, you see a visual difference of this thing isn't alive. When you choose to only intake life and food that gives life, you surely see, oh my God, like you filter out very quickly what doesn't give life. And that can have a profound impact on your body. And don't be mad at yourself if you slip up and eat some bullshit again, and because you'll feel it. And that's a part of the lesson, you know?
Well, and that is part of it. It's like you want to fall back and eat those things so you can no longer perceive those things as bringing you value or satisfaction, but it actually brings you discomfort and pain and agony. So you start associating it with pain and suffering rather than gratification.
Probably saves so much money too, bro. People always think that eating the organic, healthy stuff is the more expensive route. Oh, I don't have money for apples and for like organic fruits and local homegrown meat. And it's like, well, hey man, you had money for that $10,000 kidney pill, or maybe you didn't, but like, yeah, it just seems that like people revert to food that is killing them because it's cheap. And it's a sad sort of conundrum.
It's interesting because I've had people bring that up a lot when I'm like selling them a package. You're like, well, how much is this going to cost me with the food? And I'm like, it's actually, you're going to save money on food because you're going to eat less often. You're going to eat less of it. And when you just eat whole foods, meat, fruits, and vegetables, your grocery bill actually goes down. And every single time.
Because your little $15 daily snack bill is gone.
You're going to buy your Starbucks coffee, all of your like donuts, the alcohol, eating out with all these bullshit food at all the restaurants, which I just want to touch on. All restaurants are supplied, I would say 95% of restaurants are supplied by Sysco Foods. And Sysco Foods is all garbage. So even if you're at a high-end restaurant, you're getting the same bullshit quality of food as all the other restaurants.
This the clips that I like, bro, because this shit pisses them off. And I love posting something on Facebook. Dude, like my restaurants. Sysco, baby. No, I'm kidding. I'm just... Okay, dude. So like you said, with the Enemas, take me through the, like, you know, one of Matt's many fine achievements is getting people to flush water up their colon. I would love to kind of understand a little bit more why I'm doing it, what's going on. Like, I can say from my personal experience, like, I have a hard time like sitting with it once the bottle of spring water is there. Like, the whole sit with it, nurture yourself, rub your tummy thing. Like after about 2 minutes,
You have an incredible sense that you need to release.
Yeah, and it's like that gotta go.
Yeah, so so that gets better with time the more that you do it. So when you need to release right away, it's because you have so much shit already filled up in there. So you have that instant need to release it. So the more that you clean it out, the easier it is to actually hold the water.
And the deeper you go, too, like you'll be able to go.
Yeah, so 16 ounces of water will fill up about a quarter of the colon. 32 ounces of water will fill up half the colon. 64 ounces of water will fill up the whole colon.
Are you allowed to do 64 ounces of
Totally. I do 64-ounce coffee enemas pretty regular.
What? Because I feel like I've been doing these liters. How many ounces is that?
A liter? Like, I was close to 32.
Okay, not too bad. But I just feel like there's more, and that is awesome. Because like I saw you take out those gallstones. Was it through something like that? Like it's a 64-ounce
flush. That's a liver gallbladder flush.
I gotta hit a 64, dog. I'm hitting the 32.
I'll explain this real quick for you. So first, like with every client, we're going to start with distilled water enemas is typically where I want to start it because distilled water is negatively charged. So it's essentially like a binder in itself. It's going to absorb toxins out. So just starting with distilled water, starting with like 16, 32 ounces, and then 64, starting to flush out. Then we can move into like baking soda and sea salt. That's going to be much more stringent. It's really going to start to clean things out, break up old fecal matter. It's going to change the pH balance, so it'll kill parasites, candida, bacteria that's in there, all that good stuff. You can do herbal enemas. So, I mean, really, you could take any herbs that are good for the gut. You can do it as an enema. You could do chamomile to help with tension or anxiety or nervousness. It's going to help with the inflammation in the colon. So there's all different types of things that you can do. And then I move people into coffee enemas. And I love coffee enemas because not only do they help clean out the colon, they activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which means it instantly puts you in rest and digest. So I had someone show me, have you seen these Oura rings where they track like all of your body stats?
Boom.
Oh, you got one. Cool.
Boom. Have I seen it? It's seen me, dude.
So they're showing me that their stress levels were through the roof. And then as soon as they did the coffee enema, it was bottomed out to 0.
Wow, dude.
So it's like instant parasympathetic nervous system, rest and digest. So not only are you cleaning out your colon, you're putting yourself into rest and digest, and then you're purging the liver and gallbladder. So the caffeine is absorbed through the hepatic vein and causes the liver and the gallbladder to contract and dump. So every 3 minutes, the blood will pass through the liver and dump fat-soluble toxins into the liver. And then, so that's why you want to hold it for 15 minutes so you can get 5 rounds of that. And then when you release, you're dumping all of those toxins directly.
Damn. Okay, that is a little bit of inspiration to hold it in.
Well, bro, get this, though. That's just the coffee enema, right? So it's not the same.
Man's going in right now, dude.
Right.
Take my money, dog.
All right, so when you do a coffee enema, it increases your glutathione production by 600 to 700%. Glutathione is your master antioxidant. So what are antioxidants? Well, oxidation is the process of aging, right? So antioxidants slow the aging process. Antioxidants remove and mobilize toxins out of the body, and glutathione is the most powerful antioxidant that's created by the liver. So every time you do a coffee enema, you're increasing your glutathione production by 600 to 700%, which is
700%.
Wow.
Like,
crazy.
Imagine if you had $100 and then someone was like, "Hey, here's $700."
Yeah, 600 to 700% more dollars.
Yeah. Dude, is that not math? Is that math not mathing? 100 would be 700. Right?
I don't know if that's true. Maybe is that true?
He's like, dude, I know I'm about the. We're mathematicians, dude.
And math is not my forte.
But fuck, dude, the body is. Jeez, man, I love this because it's like it gives a practical side to this stuff that seems so like people don't even know where to start, and like they may have to replay this 3 times, but it's there.
Yeah.
You know, and this is very practical, life-changing information, bro. So like,
Let me hit on one more thing.
yeah, rock out.
So the other thing that you want to make sure is you hit the small intestine. All of the enemas will hit the large intestine, right? And the coffee enemas will hit the liver and gallbladder, but nothing cleans out the small intestine. We talked about how important that is earlier. So you do these saltwater flushes. It's an etheric body cleanser. It cleanses your emotional body. It cleans the small intestine. It'll flush all of that shit out. So you basically drink a big thing of salt water, a big thing of regular water, sip on it for over a course of 30 minutes. You're going to have projectile Hershey squirts in the next
Projectile Hershey Squirt, the album.
Yes. And you're just dumping all that shit from the small intestine out. So essentially the process to clean yourself is working from the colon and the small intestine, the liver, gallbladder, and then you continue to clean up the parasites, the microorganisms, the chemicals, the heavy metals, and that is the process.
And so let's talk about what kind of results you can expect whenever you start hitting the gallbladder and the full system. What kind of results can people expect? What kind of results have you gotten from clients? That might be kind of...
Well, I mean, so pretty much every client that I work with within a month of the gut healing protocol, all of their symptoms are eliminated as far as gas, bloating, constant chronic gas bloating gone. I had a client that hadn't had a solid bowel movement in 6 years, and within the first month, he's having perfectly healthy bowel movements. Leaky gut symptoms all gone, like all the cramping and the discomforts, or chronic diarrhea, which is also just constipation. So you start, I mean, literally all digestive issues within about a month for the majority of people are eliminated and feel much better. Heartburn gone, GERD gone, all that kind of stuff.
Take my money, bro. Like, this is why... Okay, after this conversation, I realized I'm going to quit my fucking job and work for Matt. Like right now, bro. Like,
Work with Matt.
Yeah. I mean, I work for God, dog. But like, this is so powerful because it's like the truth. This is like herbal. This is back to the roots of what made mankind so strong and healthy for years before it was tainted with... I'm sure back in the day there was some snake oil salesmen talking about, hey, you know, dirty onion, but surely it wasn't Cisco, you know, like, damn. I really, you know, this has been impactful. Just listening in real time to this information really demystifies a lot of it. And, you know, I want to give you the floor on the whole, like, why should people work with you? Like, what value, if someone's like, okay, I'm going to work with Matt, I'm going to book him personally, like, what can I expect?
Yeah, I think the main thing is that I can give you all the tools and resources that you need to actually be able to heal yourself. So you're not dependent upon me. You're not dependent upon any other coaches or doctors or any specialists. That you have the tools and resources that you need. You have the know-how to heal yourself and continue down the process of self-healing. And really, that's the main thing that I can offer. So most people, within 4 months, most of their symptoms will be eliminated and they'll be on the path, you know. But I always like to clarify, like, it took me over a decade to get rid of almost all my symptoms, including chronic pain. So if you've been fucked up for 10 years, 20 years, you know, 4 months isn't going to necessarily resolve all of your issues, but you will see huge impact of symptom elimination and have the tools and resources you need to continue down that healing journey on your own accord.
I like this guy because he doesn't just say, I'm your answer. Here's a fucking, you know, dog bone. Like, it really seems like you're empowering people to empower themselves. Because once they're equipped with that, like, I'm sure, dude, knowing you would love it, you know, as much as we want to grow and evolve our business and be these successful people. If someone hit you up like, yo, I paid for the package, I'm all healed. It's been like, I've flushed I'm fully healed. I'm sorry, I don't need to work with you anymore. You'd be like, dude, yeah, I'll go. Like, you completed the mission. And so, like, I'm really excited to see where you're able to take this holistic health empire. It's the only empire I would feel like comfortable being involved in. It's just like, we're gonna rally up troops. We're gonna have people eat fresh strawberries and grow food on their local farms. You know, like I'm with that. And so, if there's anything else that you want to share, I'd love to hear it, man. It just blew my mind. I'm gonna have to start doing some motion graphic edits, and definitely gonna get a transcription of these episodes so I can put the word up. You know, you put through some big words there, man. Damn, 3-4 syllables, bro. But I like them, and I feel like they're gonna make me healthier. So I'm gonna start putting those words up on the screen for myself.
Well, the only thing I would like to end it on is that literally all of my protocols that I do with people, I give away for free on my community. That's also free. So yeah, I don't even care if people want to work with me. I'll give you everything you need so you can do it on your own accord, and that's what it is. I'd
still want to work with you just for something like, let me get a whiff of Matt. This dude knows some things. I feel like if I can, I don't know. I just feel like having you as someone who, you know, if I'm working with you personally and I know I'm going to get that 12 p.m. call every week or whatever the regiment is of like, okay, I know Matt. I hear your voice in my head when I'm about to eat some bullshit. Now I haven't even dove all the way in, but like that accountability can and will be life changing. And same with Paige too. It's like you know, this is herbal mama and this is like herbal grandpa doctor, and it's cool because it's like she's gonna, and I see the funnel too because it's like, okay, if you know, maybe a Paige is gonna, look, it's okay. No, you know that ups your cholesterol. Like, let's cut that out. You know, think about the calm, you know, exhale longer than you inhale. And Matt's like, we're going straight to the goddamn gallbladder, bro. You want results? 2 binders a day, flush it all out. You know, it's like that. Okay, I'm balanced. My hormones are regulated. Now Matt's like, oh yeah, like let's get these toxins out of here, you know? Yeah. Fucking wizard. You got anything else, dog?
I really loved what you said at the end about, you know, this is a process and how it took you a decade, because we're so sold on this pill will fix it, like, you know, that, and we don't have any more symptoms. But really, what is that doing in the body whenever you've built up 20 or 30 years of toxicity in the body, and we're expecting one little pill is magically going to cure us overnight? Like, we have to think about, like, all those years, we've got to start reversing those. And it's like a trickle effect of it's, you know, finally working over time, kind of how my son took, you know, 2 years to really start seeing the benefit. And all this healing, it's going to take time. And we get so frustrated after a month or two of a protocol, and we're not healed. Well, you have 30 years of damage. So it takes time for all that, you know, your body to start healing, and that intuition that Matt is recentering us on, to trust ourselves again and to trust the healing process, and not just run to the doctor and get the magic pill, but to trust that our bodies can heal itself. And if we're putting in the right things, we're taking out, we're fasting, like all those are tools that we have inside of us to heal. I think that's just, you know, mind-blowing and powerful.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said.
It's a good way to end it right there.
The refreshed cast, the refreshed team, man. I'm honored to know y'all. I'm excited to, if you're watching this, wherever you're watching it, feel free to, you know, we'll have their contact information in the description. Yeah, dude, this is amazing what we're doing. And for those listening, I just want to say that, you know, it can seem like a lot and you have to stop so much negative momentum. Like, you don't know where to start. Just start at step 1, you know, and take that next baby step. And then before you know it, you'll be doing stuff like this time last year, bro. I would have never done an enema. I was eating crap. You really brought to my awareness that my lower back pain was due to inflamed kidneys. And it's like, what you mean? I'm smoking weed and drinking coffee all the time. I live on weed, mushrooms, and espresso. What you mean it's a kidney thing? And he literally brought me to the awareness, oh, fuck, I have kidneys. And I need to take care of them. And so I love working with y'all. We're probably going to end it on that previous. But that's how we roll. Refresh guys out.